few things to discuss tonight. It is 20 to 11 on Sunday night, and been an interesting day. So, got a load of work done last night. Most of it was stuff for Mother's Day, which we pumped out this morning. So it's been a busy old night and morning this morning, so no sleep overnight last night and all day today. Just to touch on yesterday, one thing I failed to mention in yesterday's video was that a couple of the leagues, sports-wise, have decided what they're going to do. So, Rugby Union England have decided below the top league to close the season, but are yet to announce what they're going to do about cups and promotion and relegation. In Wales, Rugby Union, they have closed the season and null and voided it. So they were the first ones to make a complete decision. That would be the one I would favour all round, to be honest, because I think it's the fairest option. And then you have the Highland Football League, which was the first football league to come out with an answer. And they have decided to award Borough Briggs with the title. They were quite a way ahead. And this will give them entry into the playoffs to be possibly promoted to the Football League, Scottish Football League. Not too sure it's the correct decision, and I do wonder whether they may have jumped the gun a little bit in the case of all three leagues that have decided. Basically, you do wonder when football might start again, and well, whether sport in general might start again, to be honest, because you've now got the Premier League clubs who had a meeting today declaring that they don't expect to start again until the 1st of June at the very earliest. Now, that I assume means that they plan to use April as a pre-season on that regard, because they've already mentioned that they now would want some games to get themselves back fit. So, at the earliest they're saying June, but there is a thought line that maybe it might be quite a while before we get sport underway again. And there is a scenario where you could see we're not due to get a vaccine for this coronavirus until at the very earliest, early 2021, so early next year, February, March time. So let's say, for instance, that is true. Fear of extra spreading with large gatherings may prohibit people or prohibit governments allowing people up from the lockdown that most of Europe now finds itself in. So the fear of the repercussions of getting it wrong your worry might be the worry for the governments that they get it wrong and the repercussions that will fall upon them politically and possibly financially for getting it wrong, and there being a reset in the virus and a reoccurrence in the virus. So you could see maybe that football won't start again and other sports won't start again until a vaccine is here and immunisation has begun. Now, if that line of thought becomes reality, you would find that we would be starting to play within a few weeks of a whole year later from where we let off. So, what would you do then? Now, in my thought, the obvious thing would then to be finishing the season that we're currently in and totally ignore what would have been the following season. So you could find yourself just finishing 2019-20 in 2021 and then go on to play the Euros after that. And you do wonder whether that's in the thinking already with the moving of the Euros to 2021, whether that's something they are considering. And you could see happening. So that'll be interesting to see how that evolves. But what I mean by these leagues maybe going too early with a decision is, let's say that scenario happens and we just continue everything like as if it was paused for a whole year. Those leagues have now deemed the end of the season and deemed what will happen. Are they then going to go back on their decision and continue from where they went off? Surely they'd have been better waiting. I would have thought that the best thing to do would be to wait until one of the bigger competitions has an answer, or when there's a clearer road back to actually playing. That might be the key to making a decision, and I think a lot of these leagues are waiting for that. Certainly in the Premier League statement today, that's pretty much what they said. They will not make any particular decision until there is a clear end to the current situation. And I think that possibly is the right way to go about things. Because things are going to get worse before they're going to get better. And once we have a clear sight of an end, then you can make a plan. So you do wonder, in retrospect, whether they were right to do it. But equally, it is interesting to see what kind of decisions leagues are going to make. So we wait with bated breath, really, to see how many leagues will just decide to make a decision, and how many will wait it out. And that will be considerably interesting times. Anyway, moving on from that, and on to today. So, as I say, it's been straight through from last night onto this morning. So, how I've got up. We didn't go to bed at all. We went straight out and did some delivering, and I think people having stuff for Mother's Day. Seems that quite a few people have gone against the government advice about going to visit older people and more vulnerable people. People are going to do Mother's Day stuff irregardless. So we have made quite a fair bit out of that, and we have beaten our target by a couple of £100 this week, so that's good for us. But whether the knock-on effect of what people are doing is a good thing is maybe a little bit worrying, but that's their choices in life, and we have to make our money where it comes, and that's it. That's what's occurred. So we've made the money out of it, and we've got to be happy with that. So we went and did try, obviously, keep Harv as happy as possible. So we're trying to go through things to do with as much as possible. So today we did making milkshakes, homemade milkshakes. So we did that. That killed a couple of hours. That was good. Fairly cheap to do, although we did have to buy a blender, which probably wasn't what we were planning to do. But that's what we had to do. But we can always use that again. But I mean, the ice cream was cheap, and the milk's cheap, and so we did that, and we made a few of them, different flavours and what have you, and she seemed to enjoy doing that. It's a nice messy activity that she seemed to enjoy. So we did that, and that seemed to go quite well. Got to maybe 2.5 hours out of that. The rest of the time was spent setting up these Google Mini Homes that we've bought, like I said yesterday, to help Jess with the memory and stuff. So they were mega hard to get accounts linked up to, and Harv finds them massively exciting, and the hardest account to get linked up to it was Harv's, which was heartbreaking to see her trying desperately to talk to the Google and not being able to, but we got there in the end. So she's chuffed with that now, and hopefully they will be of great use to Jess, and take a little bit of the pressure off me and Harv having to try and constantly remind her of stuff all the time. So hopefully those will work. So that took a bit of time up as well, and then we made the decision that we should go and maybe get out of the house a little bit, and it was a nice day today, and go for a walk. Now, I think it's really important that Harv is not just lumped in front of a television. She's not a child for that anyway. She won't sit and watch the telly for very long. She might watch a movie. She might watch a little bit of rubbish on YouTube on her phone in the evenings when she is feeling tired. But in the daytime, she's got no interest in it. She's up and about. She's not a toy player. I've mentioned that loads of times. And so it's difficult to try and find activities for her. So we thought we'd go into town and have a walk. And the incentive to have a walk was to probably go somewhere we could get something like a toy or something. So we did decide to go into town. So we left it till the afternoon. Now, I took some criticism after I put the photo on social media about it for going into a town under the current circumstances. But we are not doing anything that's against government advice and against health NHS advice. Now, that's all you can go off, as far as I'm concerned. We went in at a quiet time. We didn't get, we left here at about 1 o'clock, me and Harv. Jess had to stay. One of us had to stay at home, unfortunately, because there was a few orders coming in to the house for tomorrow. The usual sort of Sunday stuff that we do for people for the working week. Excuse me. So Jess stayed back, and I walked half into town. Now it's about a mile and a quarter, something like that. So that's a good walk for her. And we walked all the way through town. I chose that time because I didn't think there'd be many people about, and I was right. I saw maybe 10 people, and that's including staff in the shop. And the government says they're 2 metres away from each other. It's healthy to go outside. They even say that the virus doesn't survive well outside in the conditions. So we thought that was a good idea. Apparently, we've been criticised for that, but I will stick to it that we stuck to government advice. We wash our hands. We stay 2 metres away from people. And we went to town. We went to shops which were dead. And we got a little toy. Halves chuffed. And we walked all the way back. So we got loads of fresh air. We walked, 3 miles probably altogether, including walking around town. So halves chuffed. We got some exercise. We got a bit of fitness for it. Because we're not being able to swim anymore. Because the leisure centres are shut. So we did everything by the book. And I believe that it was a good decision. And I'll stick to that. That it was a good decision. And, you know, we're just not... I mean, I'm the same as Harv. I'm just not the type of person who can just sit around in a house. I just can't do it. I want to be up and out. And so we did something, and we will continue to do stuff, but we will continue, as any good parent would do, to monitor the situation, and we will take the advice that we're given, and we have done, and we're playing by the rules. We might be not taking extra precaution, but we are staying within the rules, which is all you can be asked of, surely. If they want to tighten those rules, then we will stay within the tighter rules. But while the option is still there, and it's a nice day, we are going to go out and we are going to see if we can just get out the house a little bit. So that was good. And we all enjoyed it, and it killed an afternoon as well. So when we come back here this evening, we had some tea, and then Harv is much calmer. And for 2 people who worked all night last night and all this morning, who are completely drained, who have no energy to play with a child at that time of night, she is sedate enough to just sit and watch a film and play on her phone and stuff. So she had an hour or so playing with a new toy, and then she had some tea, played a little bit more, and then she sat down, to be fair to her, and just watched her phone and watched the YouTube rubbish that she watches, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's fine by us, because she's relaxed, she's had a good day, and it just gives us a bit of time to wind down a little bit. And Jess is already asleep in the chair next to me here, so that's great, because we can get a little bit of relaxation time, which everybody needs. So we'll go on to tomorrow. I have got a few jobs tonight, which I will start shortly, now that Harv has gone to sleep. And I'll bang those out to be done and taken early tomorrow morning. They'll all be work stuff all got to be delivered pre 9 o'clock. So I will get those done, get Jess up early, and she will then go out and deliver those tomorrow morning, starting from about 6 a.m. And then I will hopefully get maybe 2 or 3 probably hours sleep before Harv gets us up and the process starts it all over. So the plan is tomorrow is to in the morning we're going to try and make some homemade temporary tattoos. Basically means drawing on yourself, to be honest with you. But Harv loves to doodle, and she quite likes little tattoo things that you get with some of the comics and stuff that she buys. So she can make her own with this little game, and she can invent her own little pictures to put on herself, and that will hopefully kill the morning. And then in the afternoon we plan to go for another walk. Now again, there's no way of taking the child out of Harv's age without an incentive. Probably not going to do the shops again, because that would just be expensive to do another toy day. I mean, I didn't spend much more than about £5 on the toy thing. So I mean, it's not the expense, it's just you can't do that every day. So we thought maybe a park. Now we did a park on Sunday, and there has been talk about not taking children to parks, but as of tonight's news and what Boris Johnson's saying there on the thing is, yes, it's okay to take your child to the park if they play by the rules, staying 2 metres away from people. So what you need to do is you need to take your child at a quiet time. Now, I admit on Sunday it wasn't mega busy, but it was busier than what it would be normally when we take Harv to the park. But she's going to be around other children anyway, because Sparkles is open anyway next week, the nursery, so she will be around children anyway, so that's going to be no different to that. But we will try and go at a quiet time tomorrow, so probably leave it till the afternoon, probably till the late afternoon, when children may have gone home. You would think most children would go in the mornings, and we're going to go to a different park. We're going to go try Roasty tomorrow, and just to see what it's like. If it is too busy, which I don't imagine it will be for a moment, we'll try that. And there's Harv just passing the camera there. So I thought she was asleep, but she's not. she's up and about again now.
Oh, come on, babe.
But I think she'll be asleep shortly. Anyway, yeah, so we'll do that tomorrow in the park in Roasty, maybe for an hour or two, and it's a good walk, maybe 2 miles there and 2 miles back, maybe even a little bit more than that. So that'll be good for her, and again, getting out in the fresh air, and we'll take it from there really, and well, it should be our Monday. So yeah, plenty of interesting things still happening, and we'll carry on and see how we get on tomorrow.